Hello, Foxy Finds here, and welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Foxy's Shiny Quest. We're undergoing some maintenance here, so there might be some background noise, but don't worry about it. Should only be for this 1 week. Speaking of, this week we are starting off with a viewer request, so let's jump right in. Luxray. I knew the odds of finding a shiny Luxray in the wild were fairly low, so I opted for evolving one up. Legends Arceus gave me the best chance of finding this Pokemon, so I set off for the hunt. There are 2 locations that this family line can be found, so I kept looking for mass outbreaks of any of the Pokemon within the line. I managed to find this shiny Luxio in the Obsidian Fields. After catching it, I made my way to a safe location and leveled it up using some candy I had on hand. Voila, Luxray. These Pokemon have characteristics from several big cats, but their behavior is most connected to lions. They have prides, they have an alpha male, and they are incredibly territorial. If you run across one of these in the dark, you may just see its eyes glowing. When it does this, it's emitting X-rays, which allow it to build see-through walls and clearly in the dark. They are an apex predator and don't have a lot of other Pokemon that they have to worry about, but they still take a lot of effort to take care of their younger evolutions. This was one of the more memorable Pokemon from Generation 4 for me. It was a solid addition to any team. I love random Pokemon Go shinies. They make my job just a bit easier. Bronzor. This Pokemon is based on a bronze mirror. The inspiration for Bronzor and its evolution come from a Japanese tale of a mirror and a bell. This tale tells of priests who wanted to make a bronze bell. They asked women to donate their old bronze mirrors. One of the women regretted giving her mirror up, and as a result, the mirror would not melt in the forge. Because her mirror had a unique design on its back, it became pretty well known whose mirror it was. She became ashamed of herself and decided that she should take her own life. But she left a message that once she was gone, the mirror would melt. There's more to the story, but I will save that for this Pokemon's evolution. It's pretty good. This Pokemon's official colors are green, despite being blue in appearance. This is believed to be due to some ambiguity between green and blue in Japanese. In fact, for many years, the word that is commonly used for green now used to be considered a shade of blue. Back-to-back random Pokemon Go shinies. I'm on a roll. Dino. This Pokemon does not see. It feels its surroundings and often bumps into things without care. This toughens up its body. This Pokemon was originally going to be designed after a tank, but was changed to be more dragon-like in appearance pretty late in development. Its name's an interesting one. It's a combination of dino, like a dinosaur, and the German word for one, Ein. This Pokemon always looks so cold. Snorunt. I had to say first, I love the shiny coloration here. I think it was a great choice. This Pokemon was one of the first group of Pokemon to gain a gender-specific evolution. This makes the female Snorunt more desirable than the male because you have the option of what to evolve it into. With how much this Pokemon is shown to shiver, it's strange that it's always found in the cold. I know it's ice type, but why not let this Pokemon enjoy the beach or something once in a while? Magby. This Pokemon may be fire type, but it takes its inspiration from waterfowl. Introduced in Generation 2, it's still the only fire type baby Pokemon we have. Though, thinking on it, there are quite a few unique typed baby Pokemon out there. So we talked about some Pokemon that have dark aspects to them. Ninetale can curse, Bronzor has a tail where a woman dies, and Dondozo could eat you alive. This, however, is the first Pokemon that you actually want to be careful around and teach your kids to be weary of. Drifblim. Let's just read off a few Pokédex entries. It carries people and Pokemon when it flies, but since it only drifts, it can end up anywhere. At dusk, swarms of them are carried aloft in the winds. When noticed, they suddenly vanish. There was once an incident where a man took a trip riding a Drifblim, only to go missing. There are rumors that if you catch a Drifblim floating in the wind at dusk, you'll be carried away to the afterlife. The raw materials for the gas inside its body is souls. When its body starts to deflate, it's thought to carry away people and Pokemon. From this information, it sounds like people were riding them and then started going missing and blaming it on the wind taking them off course. But then Drifblim takes them to the afterlife? People went missing, and these Pokemon are definitely the cause. This Pokemon may not be aggressive, but that doesn't mean it's not dangerous and that you should let your guard down around them. Okay, Scyther. This Pokemon was a bit of an early fan favorite. It was one of the reasons that red version was preferred over blue version by a lot of the kids I grew up around. This Pokemon was a praying mantis with scythes for hands. In Generation 1, this Pokemon was downright broken. It had access to Sword Stance, it had access to Agility, it already had a high attack stat and a high speed stat, and it had access to high critical chance moves like Slash. This would really take down your opponents if you knew what you were doing. Scyther was so strong that when it got an evolution, its base stat total did not increase, they just rearranged things. Scyther's evolutions don't have better stats, they just have different specialties. Scyther in the anime did initially have the same lame reaction to the color red that Electabuzz had in the anime, but at least it didn't sound incredibly ridiculous when it said its name. Alright, we are rolling through these. We're about to break 50. Honestly, this has been a lot of fun so far with all these catches and sharing what I know. I still have a long way to get through this year, so I can't slow down now. As was shown in this video, if I receive a suggestion, I'll do what I can to catch the Pokemon, and I'll show it off in a video. So leave a comment if you have something you want me to catch. That's it for this week. Take care, and as always, happy hunting.